Hello and welcome back to Forza Horizon 4 for another celebration video, this time celebrating 500 subscribers here on YouTube, so thank you very much to all of you who are subscribed. I did actually hit this a little while ago. I think we're on 510 now, but as always with these I wanted to do something 500 themed, so a bit like the Ferrari 400s that we did before. I've found some cars in Horizon 4 with 500 in their name, so I've tried to make them as close to each other's class as possible, because they are quite varied what they start as. We had an S2 class car in the Atom, an S1 class car in the Caterham, A class Shelby, and C class Ferrari. So I've upgraded them as well as I can to hit the Atom's 970 PI number. So that did involve all-wheel drive swaps on all the other cars, so they might have a bit of an advantage. The Caterham's actually the only one that made it to 970, so that'll be close, I think, between those two. The Shelby only made it to 937, fully upgraded, all-wheel drive, everything. Same with the Ferrari, that only made it to 913. So these might struggle, but we'll start with the Atom and then see how it goes. We are at the Greendale Club circuit here. So as I did with the Ferrari video, we'll do 3 laps in each car and take the best time, and then I'll put up a leaderboard at the end of the video. But yeah, I always like to do these sort of fun videos, something a bit different to what I usually do, to celebrate subscribers on YouTube. And as I said, thank you very much to all 510 of you who are subscribed to the channel. Yeah, we did hit it quite quickly. 400 was only about a month ago, so that was quite a surprise for me. But anyway, let's get into, I think we'll start with the Atom and then work our way down. So I'm going to jump into the Atom and join you to begin our first 3 laps of Greendale, to see how the Atom does. So here we are with the Atom for 3 laps of Greendale. So obviously the first lap is going to be from a standing start, but that's fine because the first lap will generally be a sort of sighting lap, get used to how the car handles. So obviously this is the only rear-wheel drive car because it's the only one that's stock, so it might be a little bit oversteery, but it's got a lot of downforce in that wing, I would think. It's got some good turning. I think as long as we're careful on the throttle, we should be pretty good in the Atom. Please say I got that. This will be our sort of benchmark car. Obviously Forza kind of favours upgraded cars and all-wheel drive cars, so I'm expecting the Caterham to probably beat this, and then the other two to maybe struggle a bit because they're down on PI. But yeah, pick this circuit because obviously we've got the long straight to give cars with a high top speed a chance, and then we've got the twists and corners to give handling a chance as well. So this is our first flying lap, which already hasn't gone brilliantly. I did actually consider using a custom circuit for this, but I know the in-track circuit's pretty well by now, so it made sense to come in and do these. Haven't done any practice laps, by the way. This is my first go in the Atom around this circuit. There we go, lap 2 is a 49.4. It's the first. It's so twitchy, this car. That's invalidated. We'll take the time anyway, see what it is, but I kind of doubt it's going to be an improvement now. So I think that's going to be time for the Atom. The other thing, taking the fastest car first, is I'll learn the circuit a bit, so it might give me a better chance than the other ones. Right, I think this lap's out. We got a Drifto Forza achievement there. Great for losing control. Right, so it is a 49.483 for the Atom. Let's jump into the Caterham and see how close that can get, or if it can beat the Atom, which it probably should. So here we are in the Caterham. Obviously, all-wheel drive swapped this, so it might be more stable in the corners, but these track toy kind of cars just are a bit twitchy. Okay, okay. It's got quite a lot of understeer, which kind of makes sense, all-wheel drive. But yeah, it's all-wheel drive, which obviously Forza favours once you get above about B class. And it is upgraded rather than stock, which again tends to be faster PI for PI in Forza, so yes, interesting. This will be interesting. The understeer is quite horrendous though. And it's better than the oversteer and twitchiness we were getting from the Atom. We're not going to spin out, I don't think, but well, we nearly did on that first corner. Anyway. Whoa! Okay, we're going to have to brake before that, so we don't get lift off again. Even need to lift off through there. This does not handle very well. And it also looks stupid with Forza Area 1, although not as stupid as some cars, but anyway. As you'll see with some of the other cars that we're taking around, actually. So yes, I do apologise for your eyes, having to look at Forza Aero for 3 out of 4 of these cars. I forgot about the takeoff bump, right, which means we're probably going to be relying on our final lap here. That was a 51, that's terrible. Whoa, it does like to fly, this. Might even beat this BMW, who's probably at the top of S2, I guess, as it's a rival's ghost. So this lap's kind of about keeping it quite tidy, because I've made mistakes on all of the other ones. Please don't become an aeroplane. Caterham's been influenced by the Microsoft Flight Simulator hype. It wants to take off. Right, what's it going to be? Ooh, a 50.3. Yeah, yeah, not quite what I was expecting. I was expecting it to beat the Atom. But it turns out Ariel know what they're doing more than me at tuning a car. That was... oh, wasn't it? The Ariel was a 49.4, and this is a 53. So yeah, it's nearly a second off. And I'm expecting the next two cars to be even slower. Anyway, let's go and get the Mustang out and hope we don't encounter any crowds. So, the third car, the Mustang Shelby GT500. I do actually love this generation of Mustang. The Shelby in particular. So, yes, I might have made a crowds joke, but that's kind of... You can't do a Mustang video without one. But yeah, I know it's all a bit... I know that one's been a bit overdone. Ooh, the grip. This is so good. This is going to be fast, I think. So much confidence in this car, you can mash the throttle. This is actually turbocharged, not supercharged. I'm sorry, it had to be done. Not engine swapped, because strangely this car doesn't have any engine swaps in Forza. Which I'm a little bit surprised by. Anyway, let's see how it does on the straight. The turn-in, surprisingly, is a lot better than the Caterham, which understeers, and took off quite a lot. It's not flying, it's a bit heavy. Well. Not flying uncontrollably. Okay, I can take a bit more speed through that. Running very wide there. And there. Yeah, so the understeer's still there. Obviously, this is all-wheel drive swapped as well. It needed to be for the PI, although I'm beginning to wonder whether I should have left everything rear-wheel drive. The understeer is horrendous. Is it going to fly through here like the Caterham did? A bit. Okay, so Turns out this track isn't particularly well suited to S2 class vehicles because there's a jump. All good fun though. Anyway, what's our lap time? 52.8, so 2 seconds off the Caterham. We're going to take third around here this time, and go. Turn, you understeery boat. Not usually the problem with Mustangs. Usually they oversteer and then crash into things rather than just not turning. Take a slight break before the jump. Right, first flying lap nearly over. What time are we going to set? 50.4, that's very close to the Caterham. I don't actually know exactly what the Caterham was, can't remember. So I will have to check that. Much better through there this lap. Slight break there. Turning early there. Brake before the jump. And go. Oh, I don't know what happened there. It didn't turn as well as it was the last couple of laps. No, 50.4. I think we're on a faster lap till I did that. But again, the understeer is letting this car down, a bit like it did with the Caterham. But a 50.4, let me just check what the Caterham did. The Caterham did a 50.384, and this did a 50.417. So really not a lot in it, which is impressive given the Shelby is down quite a lot of PI. Anyway, let's get into the fourth and final car, the Ferrari 500 Mondial. So the fourth and final car, the Ferrari 500, of course painted in yellow because Ferraris shouldn't be red. But anyway, this actually quite near the bottom of S2 class, so it'll be interesting to see how it does. It's an older car which often handled better when upgraded than Forza. Obviously very light, drives quite nicely, so that might help it a little bit. All-wheel drive like with the other three upgraded cars. But yes, the understeer is not quite as bad because it's not quite as heavy. It says understeering off the track. See, the turn-in's a little bit better. Here's the Ferrari an aeroplane. Not quite as much as the Caterham and the Ford. The Mustang kind of makes sense taking off, doesn't it? Named after the Mustang plane. Or sharing the name of the Mustang plane. Okay, I thought the brakes were better than they were. Come on, Ferrari. You should be out, well, maybe you shouldn't be able to beat Ford. If 1966 is anything to go by anyway. Right. Okay, well, oh. First flying lap, a real mess. I mean, we're expecting this to be bottom of the board anyway, so... But it'd be nice if I could do a lap without crashing. Multiple times. That was close to that wall. Turn. Yeah, none of these laps have been perfect in any of the cars. And what's it going to be? 51.8 is still the best. That was the first flying lap, I think. So as with a lot of the cars, we've not actually improved on the second flying lap. And yes, that does put it at the bottom of the list by quite a bit. So yeah, well, that's kind of what we expected. So there we go. That's what happened with the 500 cars around Greendale. So I will put a list with the times up on the screen here. The Ariel Atom V8 obviously coming top with a 49.483. Then the Caterham in second place with a 50.384. So nearly a second off, even though it's upgraded and all-wheel drive and the same PI. So yeah, the Caterham really not performing as well as I'd hoped. Then we have the Shelby GT500, so this car on the screen now, with a 50.417, so very close to the Caterham, despite being roughly half a class down, roughly 50 PI down. I think it was somewhere around there. And then obviously we have the Ferrari 500 Mondial at a 51.818, because that was right at the bottom of S2 class. So that kind of makes sense. So yeah, it's kind of a shame because the 500 cars are all quite spread out, so I guess we could have just not included the Atom and built them to S1. But anyway, wanted to use all 4 of them as we only had the 4. But yeah, it's not really going to tell you anything, is it? Because in the end, if you want something in S2, you'll have something at the top of S2. So these are always just a bit of fun to take cars with a relevant number for some laps to celebrate 500 subscribers here on YouTube. So yeah, again, thank you very much to all 510 of you who are subscribed at the moment. But yeah, these are always a bit of fun to come on and do these sort of time trial things. And I will be back to do similar videos at some point in the future. But yeah, thank you very much for 500 subscribers, and thank you very much for watching this video. But that is going to be all for today, and I will be back with the next video very soon.